What's up gamers, SweetJohnnyCage here. Welcome to my review of BioShock 2 for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Please be aware that I am using the PlayStation 3 version of this game, however, between that and the 360 version, there really are no gameplay differences. BioShock 2 takes place primarily in 1968, with a brief event in 1959 happening in the beginning of the game. We are once again taken back to Rapture, Andrew Ryan's underwater utopia gone awry. Instead of playing as Jack, the protagonist from BioShock 1, you now get to take the reins of a Big Daddy. This Big Daddy, named Subject Delta, is the protector of Eleanor, the daughter of Dr. Sophia Lamb. Sophia Lamb is brought to Rapture against Andrew Ryan's best interest to help people cope with underwater living. Instead of helping people like she was hired to do, she began recruiting members to a cult she called the Family. In BioShock 2, you are given the task to bring down Sophia Lamb, reunite yourself with Eleanor, and escape Rapture once again. Basic gameplay of BioShock 2 is practically identical to that of BioShock 1. Equip a primary weapon and a plasmid ability, and you're good to go. Various intricacies have been added and tweaked, however, giving BioShock 2 its own distinct feel. Little sisters now play a slightly different role in this game. Since you're a Big Daddy, you can now adopt a little sister for your very own. Once you adopt a little sister, she will then ride around on your shoulder and guide you to a body from which she can collect Adam. Adam is once again used to purge plasmids, gene tonics, as well as health and EVA upgrades. While the little sister is collecting Adam from the body, you have to protect her from waves of splicers. However, one cool thing about it is that there are a few gene tonics you can find as well as purchase that can speed up Adam extraction. Once you gather enough Adam from the body, you can pick up the little sisters and find your next target for some more Adam. Once you have gathered from enough bodies, you can bring the little sister back to a familiar looking vent. When you arrive at the vent, you are presented with one of the most heart-wrenching choices ever in a video game. You can either rescue or harvest the little sister. If you rescue her, you will get less Adam, but once you start rescuing more sisters, they will start bringing you gifts, usually containing more Adam anyway. If you harvest the little sister, she will die, but you will get the maximum amount of Adam from her. The choice is up to you, and it has a heavy effect on how the game ends. The graphics in BioShock 2 feel just as rich as they did in the first game. While the parts of Rapture you visit this time around are different, everything still has that Rapture feel. What should be beautiful has been destroyed. What should be humans having a mass ball are now drug addict freaks who talk to themselves. It's truly a madman's paradise. Textures are very smooth, although sometimes the rendering can't catch up to what's going on in the game. This is a problem I ran into both the 360 version and the PS3 versions of the first and the second game, so I was a little annoyed to see that it hadn't been fixed. That being said, it's understandable considering all the dynamic textures that can be in one room sometimes. BioShock's controls are once again very smooth. It's pretty difficult to mess up a shooter's control scheme, but 2K definitely mapped out everything well enough so I wasn't stretching my hand into weird positions. Equipping plasmids and weapons is always very quick, especially with the built-in selection wheel for each. BioShock 2's soundtrack is impeccable. From random record players playing 50s music to the environmental tones, from the heart-pounding music during battles to the ramblings of a distant splicer, the sounds of BioShock really keep you engaged. Now with all that being said, I do have one complaint about this game. I feel as if I'm not being wrapped up in the story as I was in the original BioShock. In the first game, you were literally thrown into this dystopian city in which you had no idea what the hell was going on, and the only thing you cared about was survival. In BioShock 2, you just wake up in Rapture and go on your way trying to find Sophia Lamb. While it's easy for me to overlook because I've just recently finished the original game, I feel as if someone who is using this game as their first BioShock experience isn't going to have any idea what 90% of this game is about. This game is a true sequel to the original and is heavily reliant on the first game's backstory. That being said, if you played the first game, you'll have no problem with the second one and you'll enjoy it just as well. If you haven't played the first game, pick it up now, it's only $20 new. Overall, I'm going to give BioShock 2 a 90% out of 100. As a big fan of the original game, I enjoyed this game just as much, if not more. Well guys, if you want to check out BioShock 2 or BioShock 1 or any other great games like them, please look to the right of this video inside the video description for a link to VideoGameCentral.com. Also in the video description you can find a link to our blog, Gamer Grenade. Alright guys, that about does it for me. I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
So, Lamb broke out, and she's